Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a class guide on the brand new Vampire Lord class, which actually just came out for Artix Entertainment's 15th anniversary event, which was Friday the 13th, the Blood Moon Rises. So basically I'm just going to be going over all the skills, the combo combinations, things like that, how to get the class. There's 3 different variants of the class. There's Enchanted Vampire Lord, Royal Vampire Lord, and the Normal Vampire Lord. To get the Enchanted Vampire Lord, you will buy the Blood Moon Treasure Chest pet for 10,000 Adventure Coins, which has pretty much all the rare items that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks for the Blood Moon event. So it has the special Enchanted Vampire Lord variant, which is color custom. I'll go ahead and take my armor off right now so you can go ahead and see how it looks like. And just so you can have a look at that. So this is how the actual armor of all 3 of the variants look like, except this one is color custom. And then the Royal Vampire Lord. The Royal Vampire Lord actually is purple. N Guy was originally wearing it right now. Hells is wearing it here, as you can see. It has a purple tint to it right there. And then the normal Vampire Lord is, of course, red. So the Enchanted and Royal will be going rare. I'm not exactly sure when. I would guess that the Royal will be going rare next year, while the Enchanted goes rare on November 3rd. And then the normal Vampire Lord is seasonal, so it will be coming back every year. So to get the Royal and the normal Vampire Lord, you want to go ahead and slash on Blood Moon. And once you are at Blood Moon here, you can then go ahead and talk to Sephiria after you've actually completed the event quests. So you'll talk to Sephiria, press Vampire Lord, and then quests. And there's 2 quests here that you can do. If you are non-member, you would do this quest here. You will have to do it 300 times to actually get one of the classes, and basically you have to get a Black Moon Vial, or Veil, and then a Moonstone. The Black Blood Vial is dropped by the Black Unicorn, while the Moonstone is dropped by the Lake and Guard, which is near the start of the map. I'll go ahead into the merge here. So as you can see, you need 300 Blood Moon tokens for either one of the classes. I recommend going for the Royal Vampire Lord first, as it is the rare variant, while this one is seasonal. And there's also the armors for 100 tokens each. So pretty much everything to do with the Royal Vampire Lord will go rare. And then there's also the morph, the locks, then another morph, and then the stuff for the normal Vampire Lord here. And in the cape section, we have the Royal Vampire Lord cape and the Vampire Lord cape for 40 tokens. The prices of the helmets do vary. The enraged one is 80, while the rest is 60. So I definitely recommend getting the Royal stuff first if you can. So back to the quests that I was talking about. Then the other quest here at the bottom is for members. So if you're a member, I definitely recommend doing this one, as you get 2 tokens instead of just 1. So you only have to do the quest 150 times to get one of the classes. And same thing, just have to kill the Black Unicorn and the Moonstone once. The quest items do actually stack because they are drop items now and they are AC tagged. So once you go over here, you can see the Black Unicorn, 88,472 HP, so it won't actually take that long to kill if you have a party. And then the Lake and Guard is on the other side of the map, basically. So the max stack for the quest item itself is actually 100. You do have to have the quest accepted for it to actually drop. But yeah, the max stack is 100, so just get 100 of them if you can, and then just turn in the quest 100 times. And then here's the Lake and Guard, only 1,219 HP, so he's not really hard to kill, you can do that easily. And he will drop the Moonstone for you. So, on to the next thing. So here we are at Shadow Realm, and let's get started with the actual skills of the class. Alright, so, first up, for the actual auto attack, it's just called Slash, 2-second cooldown, like most of the auto attacks. And then, it's obviously physical, for this class here. You slash out at 2 targets with your extended vampire claws, dealing 70% weapon damage to each. So yeah, this class does hit 2 targets. It is a multi-target class, but it only hits 2, so it would hit these 2 on the front, most likely. And as you can see there, I just used it. And there's a little blood splatter animation that the Scarlet Sorceress class also has, I believe. So it doesn't really do that much damage. but it is just a small auto attack. So, but yeah, so it does only do 70%, so it's not that big. On your next skill, you have Devour Blood, costs 25 mana, 5-second cooldown, physical/magical. So it deals damage up to 2 targets and heals for the sum of the damage dealt. So yeah, you can use this pretty much over and over again just to heal a bit of your HP whenever you do some damage to an enemy. This is the healing skill for the class. So it also applies Blood Loss to debuff your enemies, reducing damage done by 50% for 5 seconds. However, most of these skills are not really that helpful if you use your 5th skill, which I'll show a bit later on. So it is pretty good because, as you can see here, if you're in a bit of trouble and you are about to get killed, you can reduce the damage done by the enemies for 5 seconds. So it can basically just help you heal up a bit and let you survive just a bit longer. So yeah, that's the really good thing about this skill here. Because as you can see at the bottom, it does say it does not apply blood loss while aspect of the bat is active, which is your 5th skill. So your 3rd skill, actually I'll go ahead and use this first, just so you can see what it looks like. It has a little blood splatter animation there as well, that intertwines with the auto attack. But yeah, it doesn't really do that much damage, just like the auto attack itself. It's only a small bit, but it does apply blood loss, as you can see there, which does reduce the damage that the enemies are doing to me. So that's the really helpful part about it, and as you can see, whenever I use it, my health will go up just a bit. So, it's quite helpful. So your next move, which is your 3rd skill here, which is called Sona Scream. 10-second cooldown, it doesn't cost any mana, so it's quite a good move. It doesn't actually really attack targets, it's more like a buff-debuff kind of thing. So it's a magical skill, applies Deafened, and it debuffs up to 4 enemies. So this is basically one of the moves that hits the most targets. And it increases the damage they take by 30% for 8 seconds, which is really helpful, especially if you apply it with this as well. If you have Aspect of a Bat, it applies Sona Senses to buff yourself, increasing your hit chance by 50% for 8 seconds. So lots of these skills do actually intertwine with your 5th skill, but some of them don't really work well with it. So it does not apply Deafened while Aspect of the Bat is active. So instead, if you had Aspect of the Bat active, it would instead apply Sona Senses. If you didn't have it active, it would apply Deafened. So it increases the damage they take by 30%, and then the Senses one increases your hit chance by 50%. So I'll go ahead and use that. It has the same animation that the Mindbreaker class has, as far as I remember. So it does do just a bit of damage, not all too much. So yeah, there you go, you saw the animation. I'll go ahead and use my 2nd skill just then to heal up a bit, so I can get out of there. So that's what that looks like. So yeah, that's pretty much just what that does. I'll use it again, just to show you that it increases the damage they take by using my 2nd skill. If you can see it doing that. So yeah, it seems like they are getting a bit more damage done to them. It's in the 300 zone, so yeah, it's just increasing it, not by that much. But it is quite a helpful move, especially if you have your 5th skill activated. Okay, so onto your 4th move, which is actually probably my favorite one out of all of them. So this is called Buell Gorge. And for this, you need 25 mana. It has an 8-second cooldown, it's physical/magical. Deals damage up to 2 targets and applies Gorged, which debuffs the enemies and deals damage over 12 seconds. So it's basically a little dot, but this move is pretty much useless if you have Aspect of the Bat actually on, because it says down there, it does not apply Gorged while Aspect of the Bat is active. So I wouldn't really recommend using this move if you have your 5th skill activated. But I'll go ahead and use this, just to show you how it looks like. It has a pretty cool animation. So there we go, it hit 2 targets and there's a little dot there. damage over time of 236. I'll use it just once again, because I think the recording stopped just then. Yep, there we go. So that's the animation. So it's quite a nice move, but just like most of the moves, it doesn't deal all too much damage, but it is pretty nice to use, especially with that little dot there, which would also be quite helpful when you use your first two moves as well. So into your fifth move, which is the most important move on the class, I would say, and probably one of the most interesting moves that the class has, and this is Aspect of the Bat. So you need 25 mana for this, and it has a 30-second cooldown. It's magical. So you take on the aspects of a bat. Your haste and crit chance increases by 500%, so that's quite a lot of an increase. And that only lasts for 15 seconds, so not really that long. So it is very good, but then it goes into this part, which makes it sound not that great. So here's what it says. You deal 50% less damage, take 50% more. Your skills cost 100% more mana, and no longer apply debuffs to your enemies. So that's the part where, pretty much when you use this, a lot of your other skills pretty much become useless. So that's the thing about this. It increases your haste and crit chance by quite a lot, but it pretty much just stops you from being able to actually debuff your enemies and make them not hit you that hard. So it is a good move, but it costs a lot of things to actually use. But yeah, let's go ahead and use it. You can also use this move outside battle, because it doesn't actually hit targets, it's just a buff, basically. So then, there's the animation, a bat flies around, and I'll go ahead and use this here. As you can see, the second move is not applying blood loss anymore. The heal is still in effect, but you can also see that my crit chance is up greatly, and my damage is also a bit up as well. So that's Aspect of the Bat with my second move here. And now, since it ran out, blood loss is now applying. I'll use it again. I'll use Sona Scream. And now it has Sona Senses, which is the one that actually increases my hit chance by 50%. So my damage also greatly goes up. My crit chance as well. I'll go ahead and use it again. And now I'll use the Ghoul one. And basically, yeah, nothing really happens when you use the Ghoul one, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But definitely go ahead and use your third, your second, third, second, over and over again. And that's basically how you survive, because as you can see, whenever my health goes down, I just use Sona Senses, and then I use my second. My health just goes up again, and again, and again. And my crit chance is just quite high, So it is quite a nice class, but it does have some flaws to it, because of its fifth move. Especially with its fourth move, as the fourth move just literally becomes useless once you use your fifth. So, but yeah, there's still some damage that it does do. But yeah, overall, it's a really nice class. I definitely do recommend getting it, especially the Royal version, as it will go rare. Or if you do have enough ACs, go ahead and get the Enchanted Vampire Lord. I also do have the Royal, it's just in my bank at the moment. But it does have quite a nice survivability, because of its increased haste and its hit chance, plus its little health add-on. Overall, I'd probably rate it at least a 6 out of 10, or something like that. The recommended enhancements for it is actually Luck or Wizard. Since it does have some physical plus magical moves, you do want your hit chance and crit chance to be quite high, while also having a quite nice, like, damage over time or something like that. So, I recommend Luck, though, full Luck or half Wizard, whatever suits you, but I'm just using full Luck at the moment. And it just came to me that I wasn't actually wearing a lot of stuff, so my damage output wasn't that high. Okay, so let's just try that again. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now, and you'll see the actual damage that it does when you have full Luck on. So yeah, the average is about 1,000, or just over 1,000. So I'm just using my fifth move, and then going ahead using the other skills. Yeah, it doesn't take that long to kill enemies since its crit rate is quite high. So yeah, that's pretty much the Vampire Lore class. I'll also just go through its passive abilities real quick, so you can see what those are. So its rank 4 passives is Pure Blood, increases endurance by 30%, so that's pretty helpful, especially if you accidentally make the enemies hit you a lot harder with your 5th move. And then the other one is Ageless, which increases intellect by 30% and crit rate, but the crit rate is reduced by 20%. So the crit rate thing, it wouldn't really matter that much, especially if you have your 5th move applied, since it increases that by 500%. But the intellect is really good because then your moves that have magical damage will do a lot more damage overall. It also does have a rank 10 passive, which is Sanguine Lord, which actually increases damage by 20%, so that's pretty helpful then as well, since the class overall doesn't do all too much damage. So it's pretty good then. So you'll probably be doing 1.5k to 2k, or just a bit over that. So yeah, it's a pretty nice class. It is the birthday class for this year. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed, I hope it helped, and I'll see you next time. Definitely don't forget to get the class. Doesn't take that long to get. But yeah, bye.